What do you think his future is in the NFL?
Not one time in that statement that you was reading, Carrie, did he say he let himself down. The problem with Josh Gordon is that he surrounded himself with people that tell him what he wants to hear instead of what he needs to know. See, Josh Gordon, and Skip, give me just a second here. Let me explain something to you. Josh Gordon probably grew up like I did, and we consider ourselves buses because we carry a lot of folks, family, relatives, friends. So a lot of people is counting on Josh Gordon. You don't want him to stop that bus and ask you to get off. So if you tell Josh Gordon he has a problem, there's a good chance he's going to stop the bus and ask you to exit. See, the problem that I have with Josh Gordon, he won't admit that he has a problem. See, even the smoke that was in his lungs, the molecule that was broken down in his body belonged to someone else. It came through secondhand smoke.
Yep.
He won't admit that there is a problem. Therein lies the problem. Now, we can come up here and say, well, the NFL should do more. The Cleveland Browns should do more. But you can only do what a man will allow you to do.
Yep.
And Josh Gordon won't allow any help because he doesn't think he is a problem. Now, we give it a nice name. You know, we've become very, what's the word I want to use? We're politically correct.
Yep.
Oh, he's an addict. Well, I'm going to simplify it for you. He's a junkie. See, and when we call junkies, we think of meth, heroin, cocaine. Josh Gordon is a marijuana junkie. Simple. That's what he is. He can't stop. He can't help himself. Because here, just what he did. This is $50 million bucks. He just threw it away. Because he can't stop. Because, see, that's what an addict does. See, an addict, no matter what the consequences and what the rewards are, he was willing to suffer the consequences over the rewards, the financial rewards.
Yep.
So he just said, you know what, I don't care. And for him, even if it was secondhand smoke, you know you're not supposed, you're one strike away from being gone for a year. So you know you should not even be in the presence of someone that's doing that. And for you to allow yourself to be in that company, it shows me that you have no regards. The NFL, to have the credibility that it wants to maintain through the CBA drug policy, they had to suspend it for nothing less than a year.
Yep. Okay. Okay, for the record, it has been reported that Josh Gordon actually went to rehab late last July, July 24th. Well, he couldn't have lasted very long because then he was in camp soon after that. So I don't know what kind of a rehab stint that really was, and obviously I'm going to guess it didn't really take.
No.
Okay. So here's the question, back to your original question. What kind of future does he have? I don't know. I'm not sure, because we're about to find out whether he just hit rock bottom, as they call it in Alcoholics Anonymous, bottom, a la Chris Carter when he got cut by Philadelphia and Buddy Ryan, and he finally woke up and said, I'm in danger of losing my football life. And he sought help, and it took hold, and it continues to hold strong with him today, and he's in the Hall of Fame because of it. You're old enough to remember Doc Gooden, who could have been the greatest pitcher in the history of the game.
Spectacular.
In the history of the game, and he wasted much of his greatness because he kept giving in to his, whatever you want to call it, issue or junkiness or whatever you want to term it, okay? Darryl Strawberry went down that same road to hell a few times, too many. Okay, so this is going to be the second time I'm going to bring up my dear mother in the A block, which is a record, and I promise I won't do it again, Mom, the rest of the show, but I can only speak from my painful experience. I didn't grow up where you grew up, where you're talking junkie versus addict. I grew up as the oldest kid in a household with two alcoholics who could not stop drinking, either one of them. My father drank himself to death my freshman year in college, just absolutely keeled over and died from cirrhosis of the liver. My mom had a car wreck that nearly killed her and was dragged by my brother and sister, because I was away at college, to Alcoholics Anonymous, and it saved her life. And to this day, she will not miss a meeting because she says she has a disease. So in your neighborhood, you're junkie. In my neighborhood, in my household, it's a disease. Does Josh Gordon have a disease? Could he come to grips with the fact he was born with some malfunction in his system whereby continuing to smoke or drink alcohol are more important to him than the fame and fortune that he could have, that we all see that he could have in professional football.
At this present time, it is.
Okay? That's what I'm saying. It's like that's more important. We know Josh Gordon because he's been on the show. I've looked in his eye. I think he has a high IQ. I think he thinks he's smarter than the rest of us, and he's more gifted than the rest of it. This is a gifted young, you know how gifted this man. He dominated the sport last year.
Led the league in receiving after missing.
After missing 2 games. What do you have, 8 200-yard-plus games? It's like...
Yeah, he's the only player in NFL history to have back-to-back 200-yard games.
Okay, so we get that. Does Josh get that? I don't know.
No.
So again, I'm having to put it in my frame of reference, alcoholism, AA, you have to hit bottom, and then we find out what you're really made of. Do you have the guts to get help and embrace the help? Because embracing is, you can't just go along for the ride and say, I'll go through a couple of weeks of this, I'll tune them out and act like I'm actually listening when I'm really not. Okay, can you hit absolute bottom and then a la Chris Carter, save yourself? Because if he does, we're talking about a Hall of Fame arc that he's set on right now, right?
Right. Time out, guys, because you guys we're answering the question, what do we expect for his NFL future? This just in, it's being reported that he's considering going to the CFL for the remainder of the year and play there.
Well, that's not getting any help.
Kerry, and therein lies what Skip and I have been talking about.
Yeah.
He doesn't realize that he has a problem.
Nope.
So instead of addressing the issue, see, the saying is that we create our own demons. Only we can chase them away. The NFL can come in and say, look, we have this program. The Cleveland Browns can say, we have this program, Josh, but until Josh Gordon realizes that he has a serious problem and meets it head on, now he says, you know what? You won't let me play with you in the NFL. I'll pick up my ball and go to the CFL because I don't have a problem. This doesn't need to be addressed. But at some point in time, and you ask the question, what's his future? Because he's so talented, because his production level is so high, there's always going to be that one coach, that one owner, we can change it. But until he realizes that he has, Skip says it's a disease, I call it a weakness. Until he realizes and strengthens that weakness, we're going to be, guess what? We'll be right back here next. Now, he has to stay clean the year that he's being suspended. He still gets tested 10 times a month.
Okay.
So he still must maintain, be clean, or else, guess what, Skip? It's another year.
Okay.
Another year.
Wow, I didn't know that. All right, good. Let's leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up next, there's a report out of New England that says Tom Brady not happy with the latest Patriot move. Why is that? We'll discuss in just a few moments.